Hello again, YouTube. Welcome to another video on our garden series. It's been a nice stressful day today, so I figured I'd come out and do a little update on the garden. It always makes you feel good when you see little things that you planted growing. We are progressing with our potatoes here. You can see a few of them popping up in here. My wife's been weeding. Started at the other end down there and working our way this way. And of course, here's our leeks. Looking nice. We've been making a lot of leek soups. And my wife's drying them and making leek powder. So it's like a oniony, garlicky powder that we can sprinkle on stuff like salads and stuff. It's actually really good. And it's good for you. Then of course, our actual garlic. Not quite sure why it's turning brown on the tops. We think that it's because we had some really cold nights and the frost may have hit it. That's the only thing we can guess. We're hoping that it comes back. It did last year. And right next to that we have our carrots. We've pulled a few of them out, gave some to our pastor and some other people of church, and some to my brother. And here's a couple more leeks here. My wife's got a few big ones still planted in here. And then moving on to the next row, we've got some Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts. Not really one of my favorites. My wife remembers them growing up as a kid, so we're growing them. And then of course we have another row of our wonderful carrots here. And right in the middle there, I don't know if you can see it, but right there is a red leaf lettuce growing in the middle of our carrot patch. So I think that a bunny rabbit has been messing around and decided to come through here. Then over here you can see on this end here we've got, as soon as I zoom out the right way, right here we have a few more garlics going all the way down and getting into more onions down here and all the way down there. More onions. We get a lot of those growing this year. My wife has decided that we're not growing any jalapenos this year. I'm going to sneak a plant in, but she says we're not. This here is our asparagus bed. For those of you who know how hard asparagus is to grow, it takes a couple of years to actually start getting it to produce properly. And my wife has gotten it produced here, and that's why you can see these pieces that look like their stems sticking up. That's where she's cut them off to eat them, and she has been eating them and enjoying them. The next two areas here, of course, are our strawberry patches. No, I haven't yet put them in boxes yet. Every time I decide to do it, something comes up with work or with our other side business that we're doing, buying the storage units, and it just gets put on the back burner again. We did move our little mini greenhouses over here. We did rototill this section of our garden. My wife has decided something to plant there. I don't know what it is yet. It'll be a surprise to me, unfortunately. I believe it's going to be some kind of squash or something. We will see. And we planted a few new little plants over here. See if you guys can tell what they are by the leaves. Dun, dun, dun. And no, they are not strawberries, even though they look like a strawberry leaf. They are not. Of course, my wife's Asian tea leaf that she grows, and it grows wild here. We had to cut it off to try and confine it in there. Artichokes, and artichokes. I don't know why it's bigger over here and then they're getting smaller progressively going down here. We planted all three of them at the same time. Actually 4 of them, but this one died a second time. Started to come back and died a second time. They say that the fruit actually grows somewhere down in the middle in there. Alright, well, I'm going to wait and see. And here's another quick glimpse of the garden from the inside here. See all the little tiny onions and things like that. We've got I'm trying not to step into holes here in the soft mushy ground. We've got blueberries and a raspberry right here. This is a fig tree right here, and it should be actually giving us some figs this year. This out here is our date tree. Let me get out here so you can see it a little better. Now this thing here, if you've never seen a date tree up close, because I hadn't, has the most vicious spikes on it. And when I mean spikes, I mean compared to my finger, that is a spike. That is a massive spike. And it apparently keeps the critters off. It's going to keep me off of it if I try to pull fruit off and get stabbed by one of those. So that's not going to be pleasant. And you can see my wonderful grass is starting to turn green and getting all the flowers and everything else, which means I have to start cutting it. That'll be fun. Here is peaches. Yes, we're going to get peaches this year, as long as I can keep the squirrels off of them. Then moving right along here, we got another fig tree, and another fig tree, and another fig tree. My wife remembers these from growing up, so we're going to be continuing to grow them. Now along here, we've got this dewberry, which is this really nasty, spiky weed, I call it. But mixed in there is, of course, wild blueberries. So we have to take the good with the bad. I don't want to rip anything out until I know what's what. But that's going to be fun. We're going to take a little stroll past the garden for something new that we've done this year to try and stop some of the critters getting in. We have used some of the totes that we got from these storage units, and we're planting potatoes and other things in these totes as we empty them out. Buy some fertilizer, get some compost and some dirt, mix it all up, voila. These were little starter plants that I got at the local home improvement center. Got some red leaf lettuce and some other lettuce. Red leaf and red romaine. That's the two that are in here. And it's pretty simple. Put them in the tub, they grow. You cut them off, eat them, it grows again. It's really great. We've got some other little starter plants growing in here. These are the purple potatoes. Oh, these are the regular potatoes. We haven't started the purple sweet potatoes again yet. But these are regular potatoes, and we're trying to see if we're going to get those started nice, and so far they are. And got two other little areas that we wanted to show you as we walk by the vast expanse of our acreage here. Looks a lot bigger than it is, but we have so many trees and things on our property, it makes it look really big. But when you tell people that you only got 5 acres or so, then they're not impressed out here. This is another box that I built outside of my workshop / pump house, and this is the spring mix box. So it's just like the spring mix you would buy in the grocery store, except we have it right out here, and it's fresh and clean and no insecticides, pesticides, maybe some bugs, I don't know, there's probably everything kind of thing growing in here. But it's a mixture of all the different types of lettuces that you would find in one of those spring mix boxes. So that is really awesome. And then lastly, for those who have stayed on this long to watch the video, unless I chop it up and make it shorter, we've got our flower bed on the side of the house here, and we've got sages and basils and cilantro and parsley, a lot of parsley, more onions growing over here. I want to say something that it would be wrong, so let me look at the little sticker. And this is lemon balm. That's what these 3 plants here are. Just in case you were wondering, just like I was, because I can't remember. But it's to make tea. That's what that is. And then there's more little baby starter onions over here. And that concludes our garden tour. We're hoping to add a few more things to the actual main part of the garden soon. And start enjoying it. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to you later.